What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. I am live. We are going to be watching the digital asset policy press conference that's coming up here in about 17 minutes. I figured I'd go live and just kind of address everybody, talk about a couple things while we wait. And yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to let the chat fill up. And want to point out initially one of my new sponsors, Merlin Wallet. They have finally jumped on board. We've gone back and forth with them for a little while. They're kind of new to how some of these things work. And, but this is a wallet that I'm going to be covering in the near future, because I'm going to put a portfolio in there and I'm going to kind of keep everybody updated, because this wallet does a lot of stuff. We're not going to talk so much about all that in this particular video, but yeah, check it out. There's a link in the description. Let them know if you support the Crow, you're interested in my sponsors as well. They're tracking that link, and it's actually a pretty cool wallet, and it does a lot of things. It gives you signals and kind of gives you some insight as to what's happening on a regular basis in the market. And it does a lot. It has some bells and whistles that are worth checking out. So we are definitely going to be diving into this wallet in the not so distant future, sometime this week, I'm sure. Igon will announce who the F50 company is today. Oh, interesting. That'll be interesting to know. And I do want to apologize again for the interview last night. It was a struggle. It sucked because my video was not so great, and you know, I'm still not 100% sure what was causing it, because I had changed all of my video over, and I was using a different piece of hardware at one point, and then when I took it back to the way I had it set up before, so it threw something off, and StreamYard just didn't like it. And I didn't realize it until about 20 minutes before the interview with Charles, and I just realized there was just nothing I could do, and I didn't have enough time to fix it. And I figured, you know what, everybody's going to be more interested in what Charles has to say anyway. And we had a cool little chat once the live stream concluded, and we had a cool chat, and a lot of cool stuff that's coming in February is all I can say. So, I still don't know 100% what network or channel is going to be airing this press conference. So I'm kind of waiting for that to pop up. And yeah, once I see something concrete, then I'm going to tune into it. But right now it's just a lot of other influencers, a lot of other YouTubers that are kind of doing what I'm doing right now, just kind of sitting and waiting. So, I am waiting. And I figured I would just throw my new sponsor, Merlin Wallet, in the background with the link in the description so you guys can check it out while we wait. 645 of you already tuning in. Welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe. I am on a mission. I want to try and get to 200,000 subscribers. You know, I would say maybe, I don't know, is by May? Is that too much? February, March, April, May? Is May too much to ask? I don't know. We'll see. Visibly horrible yesterday. Contextually great content though. Yeah, I know visually it wasn't great, but listen to it like a podcast. That's the best I could say. You know, I did everything that I could in the time I had. So, you know, happens to the best of us. And Charles goes live. Is he live now too? You son of a gun. Is that really him? I guess it is. The other side of Elon Musk. I don't know. I would love to know why Elon seems to snub Charles at every turn on Twitter, on X, excuse me. Ondo coming. Crow deserves 2 million followers. Are there even 2 million people in crypto right now in the US? I don't know. I'm assuming there are, but where can I watch David speak? You're going to watch it right here. I'm going to put it on right here. As soon as this press conference starts kicking off, I'm going to switch over to it, and we're all going to watch it together. Let me make sure that my audio is set up properly. Speakers, yeah. So, ouch. Ooh, damn, that sucks. I just got my beard caught in my, my little filter thing here. That hurt. So yeah, so my output will be there. My microphone's working, so cool. Hopefully this is a fun afternoon. I just had a call. Oh wow, my voice is really booming, isn't it? I guess I don't have to talk as loud as I think I do I? You guys can hear me loud and clear from the next house if I wanted. But I had a talk with a friend of mine who he works at the VA, and he actually, well, I won't say who he voted for or anything, but I will say that he's struggling. Him and quite a few friends. There's a pretty big group of people that I know that work in different forms of the government, whether it's the military or the VA or whatever, just a lot of different positions. And this whole like coming back to work at the office thing is hurting them because they're not bureaucrats. They're they're designers for different things. They're nurses. They're people that work at different branches of the government. And there's no room. There's no room for them apparently. And I told him, I was like, it's too bad I don't still live in Tampa, because I'd have him on and we would just talk about it. Because they're concerned, because they're afraid of losing some really high quality people, because some of these people are due for retirement. They don't want to retire because they're needed. And but I told him, I was like, listen, man, I think they're just trying to weed out the deadbeats, the people that aren't doing anything. And I think once they get that solved, and once they figure out where all the wasteful spending is going, and they get some of this stuff reined in, then things will probably go back to normal. You streaming the conference? Yes, I will be streaming the press conference as soon as it starts. I am streaming the press conference as soon as it starts. Let me double check and see, because often, we're at 2:18, so it's at 2:30. And yeah, I don't see any streams yet. Let me double check here. Wow, that's loud. Let me see. This isn't live, I don't think. No, that's from earlier. That's a 35-minute video. Subscribe to that right now. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming the press conference here as soon as it gets going. The thing is, they always say a press conference here, press conference there, but they don't tell you exactly where to access it. So you kind of have to search for it. Is this conference important? If you're in crypto, it's important because this is the crypto czar of the Trump administration, and Senator Scott and like all the people that are basically big pro crypto proponents of the Trump administration are basically having a press conference to talk about what's coming. And it's a very, very important press conference. Absolutely. I'm like a little nervous, but excited. We have no idea. Hopefully it's not a big nothing burger, but I don't think anything so far since Inauguration Day has been a big nothing burger. So yeah, I expect some fireworks. I'm not trading it. No. Yes, I'm going to put the press conference on. Like and sub. Yeah, like the video. Subscribe, if you will. You look like a buffed grandpa. Wow. I'm just an old guy, man. I'm not buff anymore. I've never been buff. What am I talking about? That's all I got right there. I don't have big muscles. I guess I do, but they're just big ogre muscles. I don't have I'm not shredded or anything. Wow. That subscription notification is really loud in my ear. Ada baby. Yes, the press conference is going to be streamed right here as soon as it kicks off. Let's see. Yes, indeed. Still waiting. President Trump signs executive order to create sovereign wealth fund. Definitely subscribers pouring in right now because I'm hearing them. They're hitting me right in the ears. I've got 3,344 viewers going right now. Checking out the Merlin sponsor in the back, the smartest way to track your crypto. There's a link in the description, so check it out. I've also got an active trade on Bitunix going right now. I'm on a long, but it's down. It's down quite a bit. I entered that long at like 106. I don't think it was 106. I have to double check. Can you guys hear that too? Let's have it. Crow token holders. Hit the likes, hit the likes. When can we watch the press conference? The press conference should be starting here in about 7 minutes. But typically when they announce a time for a press conference, it typically starts a little bit later. I think they like to get everybody in line, all of the news outlets, everybody ready to go before they start talking. So we'll see, but I'm definitely waiting. And I'm looking at the other channels that are talking about showing the press conference, and they're not airing it either because it hasn't started yet. As soon as it starts, I'm going to be right on top of it. My guess is that it's going to be on Fox News as well as, it depends, right? Because I hate to be political about it, but the left is they're not about crypto. So if there's something that they think is going to be pro crypto, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that a lot of the other more left-leaning networks aren't going to try and broadcast it. I could be wrong, but I'm expecting to see it on Fox, so we'll see. I hope everybody, every network should be broadcasting it, but I'm not convinced that that's going to be the case, so we'll see. Yeah, over 4,000 of you right now watching between YouTube and Twitter, because I am live on both networks. I'm just scrolling through, and I know I'm looking at another window, and as soon as I find the press conference starting off, I'm going to throw it into the other frame, and I'm going to replace Merlin. My wife and I, for those that care, are doing some cleanse. It's some 9-day cleanse. I've been drinking all this celery juice, and yesterday all I ate were peas and cauliflower and some Japanese sweet potatoes or something. I don't know. But this morning she tried to give me a plate with rye bread and tomatoes on it with a bunch of twigs. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, woman, I need some real food. I'm an ogre. My ancestors used to eat people. I can't eat tomatoes on rye bread. Like, I need something more than this. So she made me a Greek yogurt parfait with blueberries or something. So, yeah. Crow, it's hard to believe that ADA goes to $6 to $7. That's what everybody said when it was 2 cents last cycle and it went up to $3. Folks, the idea of Cardano getting to like $8, $10, $12, I understand that right now it's difficult, but I used to think that we were in the mid stages of the bull market, and I'm starting to think that this may actually go a little further than we expect. And I do believe that it does. I think quantitative easing is going to play a role in where we go and when. So, we'll have to see how things play out. And I think the conference today could very likely have a pretty big impact on that. So whenever it decides to start, wherever, live now, that's not it. Where it is. Yeah, nobody's showing it yet because it hasn't started. So don't worry. We're going to be showing the press conference. We're going to be showing it, folks. Don't worry. And make sure too, you guys, I am consolidating all of my websites into one. So it's cryptocrow.io. This is my main website. And, make sure you bookmark that because there's going to be some really cool big stuff coming, especially Moonrunner. Moonrunner.io is going to be my AI launchpad on Cardano, and it is going to be utilizing the Crow tokens. And then if you're not already delegated to a staking node, you might want to consider delegating to the Crow node. I know the last The last epoch, the Crow node got like all 48 blocks on that bad boy. So that was a really good one. My boy Dave, he might be in the chat right now. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him, but Dave has been, and since he took over, my node has been flying. And on top of that, we've got an Apex Fusion node that we've been running on testnet, and some big developments are coming with Apex Fusion. So yeah, and all of that's going to end up showing up right here on cryptocrow.io. So make sure you check that out. And I've been putting up a lot of testimonials from people that have been following me over the years. And it's funny, this one here actually meant a lot, because this is somebody I debate with, Lou. I debate with him fairly often on Twitter, and he's politically the polar opposite of me, but we've had some really good conversations, and the conversations never devolve into insults or anything. We're just two open-minded people looking for truth from a different perspective, and I've really learned to respect him quite a bit, and apparently he's respected me, because he left me a really positive testimonial that caught me by surprise. So thank you, Lou. If you happen to be watching, I really appreciated that. That really kind of hit me in the heart. IAG is killing it right now. Well, Bitcoin's also seemingly it looks like it wants to move up. It's just waiting for an excuse. Is it live? Let's see. Let's check. Still showing as upcoming. So I don't see the press conference yet, and nobody else is showing it yet either. I really do need to try and figure out how to turn off that daggone audio notification, because it is loud. I don't think you guys can hear it. I'm not sure. Where can I watch? We're going to watch it right here. We're going to watch it right here. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Yeah, nobody's showing the press conference yet, folks. It hasn't started yet. It's 2:29 my time, so I'm assuming within the next couple of minutes it'll start popping up, and then we're going to watch it together. Over 8,000 people watching right now. Pretty cool. Might take the opportunity to show you guys this. This is Legacy Network. Another one of my sponsors I'm going to share just for a brief memento, Legacy Network, and iTrust Capital, my other sponsor. Hit the links, check the links in the description below before we kick off this press conference. This is going to be a big deal. But Legacy Network is a pretty cool app that utilizes AI for a lot of courses and things about your career, about, psychology, basically anything you want to learn. You're going to be able to do it in a gamified system in the Legacy Network app. And it utilizes the LGCT token, which is now available on MEXC, Bitmart, and PancakeSwap. So make sure you check that out. Of course, the link is always in the description. Let me refresh this real quick. Come on, press conference. I know everybody's anxiously awaiting this thing, and so am I. So am I. Still not showing yet. Still not showing yet. I feel like a bunch of YouTubers are live preparing to show this thing. And yeah, it just hasn't happened yet. Don't worry. We're going to be showing it, folks. We're going to be showing it. Oh, yeah. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you guys think they're going to talk about most? I'm pretty sure they're going to be talking about this reserve fund. I'm guessing they're going to, I'm pretty sure I saw something recently that talked about Sachs basically saying that NFTs and meme tokens are collectibles, they're not securities at all. So I'm curious if they reiterate that during this press conference. Please turn off the sound. I would love to. I don't know how. Let me see if there's a way I can do this in filters. Let's see. Alert box is off. That's off. Screen capture. I don't know where to turn the daggone notification off. Mute event sounds. Maybe that's it. Can you guys still hear me okay? And then maybe the alert sounds will be off. Yeah, that was annoying. For sure that was annoying. All right, I think I got it. Sorry about that. I'm not used to that sound just going off every 2 seconds, but I'm pretty sure those were subscribers that are subscribing. So welcome if you're new here. I am the Crypto Crow, and if you don't know me, now you know. I like to give it to you straight. I share my opinions, but I'm primarily a Cardano bull. And so, yeah, sound is good now. All right, good. Boy, I love to see the chat. I haven't seen my chat like this since 2018. So yeah, let me give it another refresh because we should be starting here any moment. Where is everybody? Yeah, it's still not there. I can't stand that guy. I'm not going to say who, but he just went live and I can't stand him. Yep, nobody's showing this press conference yet, so we just have to wait it out. Just have to wait it out. But I'm refreshing. 5,000 of you watching just on YouTube alone. 5.3 thousand. There are almost 11,000 of you guys in my Twitter and my Trump pump. I hope we pump. I'm looking at charts right now and it looks like we want to pump, but it's not doing anything just yet. Let me pull some of these into frame real quick and we'll just kind of look and see what's happening while we're waiting for this press conference to kick off. Boy, Bitcoin dominance really kind of got pumped for a minute. That's Bitcoin dominance, a wick all the way up to the 65. Almost see it. I set that line. Do you remember? Holy cow, we just about hit it. I don't even remember when I set this line. I know it was all the way back here because I thought that the Bitcoin dominance was going to hit the 65% mark before we started really working our way all the way back down to down 45% for the altcoin run. And boy, we just about hit that right here. It's hard for you to, yeah, now you can see it. So yeah, conference is live on, no, it's not. Let me see. Is that it? No. It's not live. People keep saying it's live, but it's not. Nobody's showing it yet. Trust me, while I'm doing other stuff, I'm refreshing all of this, just so you guys know. I've got a couple windows open. I've got 2 monitors with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pages going. So don't worry, we're not going to miss it. I want to see it as much, if not more, than you guys do. Bloomberg, CNBC. No, I wish we had a live tab. Oh, we do. Let's see. Times, no. It's kind of a live tab, but it still doesn't look like it's all live. Still no press conference yet. Still waiting. Let me okay. Crypto czar David Sachs to unveil U.S. digital asset policy plan. They talk about it, but nobody says where. C-SPAN. Is this?
Turn now to the matter of spying on journalists. You wrote.
No, that's not it. C-SPAN isn't putting it on yet. That's what I'm saying. They say a time, but I think it takes them a little while longer to get their stuff together and start actually going. So I'm looking everywhere for this, and it's just not on yet. Yeah, that's not live. February 4th. I'm assuming that once it is live, there'll be a notification of some kind. Yeah, nobody's airing it yet. I'm checking everybody. I'm literally checking 10 different things. So as soon as it starts, I like to say I almost have as many people watching this as there are people watching Crypto Banter. So that's pretty good. That's good, right? I appreciate that. X shows 133,000 viewers for this thing. Wow. Let's see. If it's there, that's where we'll find it. CoinDesk is trying to stream something, but it's not there either. I'm looking. A lot of people clipping my interview from last night with Charles. Boy, that video really did look terrible. That sucks. Let me see. U.S. Senate committee soon. That was 16 minutes ago. So here it is. I'll go ahead and pull this up. Put that in here. Let me see. Can I reduce this? We're going to make this smaller. There. So this is going to be it right here. When it gets going and it goes live, that will be it. There are 200,000 people watching this right now, just waiting patiently. Coverage begins momentarily. I'm pumped. I'm nervous, but I've got so much nervous energy. Lots of feedback on your audio. On my audio right now? Or is somebody trolling me? Let me see. Damn, Crow, you must be underfed today. That's kind of funny. Gay for Crow, what's going on? Audio's good. All right, thank you, Chef. Appreciate that. Great audio. All right. Sometimes there's trolls that like to mess with people. Audio's fine. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, what should we talk about while we wait? I guess now's a good time. You can ask me questions if you want. Love you too. Modern day wise guys. You look hungry? I am hungry, actually. My wife just left and she's got a West Coast swing dance thing tonight, and she cooked some meat for me that's waiting. So as soon as I'm done with this, however long this is, I don't even know how long this press conference is going to be. It could be hours. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm going to go eat as soon as I'm finished. I wish there was a way to expand my chat and put it in a completely separate window, much bigger. Is there a way to do that? I don't think there is. Let me see. No. All right. Well, that's okay. Because I've got chat coming from YouTube and Twitter, it looks like. Cardano price target 2025. I'm still telling you, I'm still holding to an $8 Cardano. And even if it's a wick to $8, I see us hitting it. But realistically, with everything coming, especially in May. I think May is going to be an absolute astronomical month for Cardano. But I think this whole year is going to be insane for Cardano, quite frankly. Bitcoin's not dumping. It's just a red candle at the moment, and that's on a really small. Let me see here. I love how when the price goes down a little bit, people say it's dumping. I need a sucker because I need to fix my blood sugar a little bit. Crow, will you still airdrop people that delegate to your DREP account? I don't think I've ever claimed to airdrop people that delegate to my DREP, ever. I did an airdrop of Crow tokens a while back to people that like followed my channel and that were delegating to my staking node, the Crow node. And like if you own Cardano and you're not delegating to a node, you're not going to be able to pull your staking rewards. Or I'm sorry, that's backwards.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a real honor to be here, to be invited to Capitol Hill here to speak alongside such distinguished leaders from both the House and the Senate. I want to thank Chairman Tim Scott, Chairman French Hill, Chairman John Boozman, and Chairman G.T. Thompson. So thank you all for your leadership and commitment to addressing some of the most important opportunities of our time in ensuring that the U.S. remains at the forefront of innovation and digital assets. The president said in his executive order in the first week that it's the policy of his administration to support the responsible growth and use of digital assets, blockchain technology, and related technologies across all sectors of the economy. And he established
They need to turn their video
executive
on.
branch working group for digital assets, which includes Secretary Besson at Treasury, Secretary Noem, soon to be confirmed Attorney General Bondi, Secretary Lutnick at Commerce, and all the other key administration officials. Crypto task force led by Hester Peirce, which is also looking at this issue. And together, our objective is to accomplish the task the president assigned for us in his EO, which is to propose a federal regulatory framework governing the issuance and operation of digital assets, including stablecoins, in the United States. I've talked to many founders over the past few years, and they've told me repeatedly that the number one thing they need from Washington is regulatory clarity. They just want to know what the rules of the road are so they can abide by them. We're coming off, frankly, 4 years of arbitrary prosecution and persecution of crypto companies where the SEC wouldn't tell founders what the rules were, but then they would prosecute them. And many founders have even told me stories of being debanked personally just because they had founded a crypto company.
That's Operation Choke Point.
This approach was driving this important technology of the future offshore, and we want to keep that innovation onshore in the U.S. Financial assets are destined to become digital, just like every analog industry has become digital, and we want that value creation to happen in the United States rather than giving it away to other countries. This will also, I should add, be much better for consumer protection because it's easier for regulators to supervise an activity when it's onshore. And it's probably not a coincidence that the single biggest fraud in the history of crypto, which was FTX, was based in the Bahamas. By moving the innovation onshore, it'll be easier to separate out the good actors from the bad actors. And we want to encourage the good actors, the innovators, while protecting the market from the bad actors. And I think a market structured legislation with clear definitions and fair rules will do that. I want to say additionally, we're excited about working with both the House and Senate on stablecoin legislation. I know Senator Hagerty introduced a bill today. This stablecoins really have the potential to ensure American dollar dominance internationally, to increase the usage of the U.S. dollar digitally as the world's reserve currency, and in the process create potentially trillions of dollars of demand for U.S. treasuries, which could lower long-term interest rates. So let me stop there, and I want to thank the chairman here today, Chairman Scott, Chairman Hill, Chairman Boozman, Chairman Thompson. And I look forward to working with them as part of the administration to help turn President Trump's
fake out
into reality. This was a week one priority for the administration, and we're excited that our counterparts in Congress are equally committed to ensuring American dominance in digital assets. I look forward to working with each of you. And with that, I want to say work with each of you in creating a golden age in digital assets. And with that, I'll turn it over to Chairman Scott. Thank you.
I think David represents promises made, promises kept. I love the campaign trail when President Trump was out there making promises, and we see today he's keeping those promises. And in so many ways, I think back to a kid as I was a long time ago, growing up in a single-parent household, mired in poverty, and hoping that the American dream would one day be accessible for me. I think that we're standing here today at the precipice of greatness for so many kids who are looking forward to democratization, having access points for their families and for themselves that makes it easier and less expensive to do business in this country. I love the concept that we see today, synergy within the administration, the House, and the Senate, focusing not on ourselves, but focusing on working class Americans who desperately need to reduce their prices and increase their access. That's what the bicameral working group will help tackle. I have a pre-existing working friendship with GT and French and John. And the good news is we come together already having proven the ability to work together to get things done for the American people. It's an exciting time to be an American. And as David said, the golden age has begun. And the good news is it's going to get better. I'm excited about what we will accomplish for the American people. I'm excited about the synergistic approach that we're taking in the House and the Senate, with the White House leading the way. Next, you'll hear from Chairman French Hill.
Thank you, Chairman Scott, and David Sachs, thank you for coming to Capitol Hill to celebrate with us the fact that in the 119th Congress, we have a bicameral project for both a stablecoins bill and a regulatory framework that will bring clarity to digital assets in the United States so that we are the land of opportunity, the land of innovation that we have been for decades in so many other technologies. We don't want to be behind in financial technology and digital assets in the United States, but our innovators, as David Sachs reported, need clarity. They need to know what the rules of the road are, and that's why I'm excited to be here today to share this announcement that we're forming a working group on a bicameral basis between the House Financial Services Committee, the Senate Banking Committee, the House Agriculture Committee, and the Senate Agriculture Committee to make progress on that clarity for a regulatory framework and to create and structure a stablecoins bill that will lend itself to advancing America as the reserve currency of the world. This is a big issue. Bicameral support this year is dynamic because last year in the 118th Congress, we had success on a bipartisan basis in the House on both stablecoin legislation moving out of the House Financial Services Committee and for the regulatory framework moving across the House floor with a strong bipartisan vote. 71 Democrats joined House Republicans in moving that policy forward. So in my view, with the wind at our back of a leader like President Trump, who knows that financial innovation, financial technology is where America's heart is, where our entrepreneurs' our hearts are, that will lead from the executive branch. And now with this bicameral partnership with Senate Agriculture and Senate Banking, along with our House committees, I look very, very forward to the success we're going to have in the 119th Congress. And let me ask my good friend from Arkansas, a fellow Razorback, the chairman of the House Ag Committee, John Boozman.
We're all still excited about the big Kentucky win. So it's good to be with you all. We've been working hard on this for the last 3 years, and we've had our ups and our downs. When we started working on it, crypto was gaining popularity. And then with Sam Bankman-Fried and other things, it seemed like perhaps it was in trouble. It's rebounded, though, and is bigger than ever. So our goal is to make sure that consumers are protected, make sure that the industry, in order for it to grow and be able to offer all of the things that it does offer to the various disciplines that are out there, whether you're a bank or whether you're investing a client's money for their retirement or whatever, you've got protections, there's structure in it, and it will allow the industry itself, because it is regulated, people have confidence in that, to grow. It's a little different than our normal situations in the sense we've got these jurisdiction things. So I'm the chairman of AG. You know, why am I here? Because we have the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. And some assets are commodities, some are securities. So the SEC has jurisdiction over securities, CFTC has jurisdiction over the other. So the idea that we're working together, again, we've all been working separately. We've made progress over the last several years, but working together now with purpose, and then also having the White House, having the czar over here, again, to visit with him and really set up a structure so that we can get a final structure to make this thing work is very, very important. So I appreciate Senator Scott, I think, really coming up with that idea. And I think it's a good one, and we're looking forward to actually get some things accomplished in the next several months.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Congressman G.T. Thompson, Chair of the House Agriculture Committee. And this is what we're doing today is sort of the next step and what will be a milestone, which will be a great accomplishment for our country. You know, America really was a leader when it came to Internet 1.0, right? It was the Internet of knowledge. And the Internet 2.0, again, it was America that led that for the world, not just for our citizens, but for the world. And that was the Internet of things. And then Internet 3.0 is what we're talking about today, and that's the Internet of value. And we're approaching it in a principled way. You know, my colleagues here mentioned a couple of those. Number one, do no harm. You know, protect consumers, provide that regulatory structure, that certainty, both for the industry, but quite frankly for the consumers as well. And secondly is foster innovation, because the opportunities are just really are unimaginable. Well, what I believe is that whatever's over the horizon is going to be very, very exciting. So I'm really, well, first of all, just very thankful to President Trump for his historic efforts to bring regulatory clarity to the digital assets markets. His leadership with the work that David Sachs is going to lead on his behalf is going to be a game changer for American competitiveness in the global race to build the new economy. The president could not have picked a better person to helm his AI and digital asset efforts. David brings a wealth of experience in exploring new technologies and building successful businesses to this new role. You know, we've had great conversations, and I know that he is laser focused on bringing certainty to digital asset markets. I want to congratulate my friend, Chairman French Hill. He is the right man to lead the Financial Services Committee in the House at this moment, in this time. And he's a great partner and the type of leader that we need to advance this issue. We worked incredibly well last Congress together alongside Patrick McHenry, and I'm excited to build on that work together. I also want to congratulate our newly elevated Senate colleagues, Chairman Boozman and Chairman Scott. Perhaps there's no one more pleased than me to be able to say Chairman Boozman. John and Tim and their members are going to bring a wealth of talent and expertise to this discussion from the Senate majority. We did incredible work in the House last Congress in the 118th, and I'm proud of the efforts that went into our historic vote on Fit 21. I'm equally excited to have these partners and a new administration in place to be able to finish the job. I'm thrilled to lead House Agriculture Committee members as we work with this incredible team to put a bill on President Trump's desk. And And I think at this point, we're going to be in a position to take a few questions.
You have to remember, this is still unprecedented, folks. This is a pro-crypto team looking to start finally doing what we've been begging the government to do for years.
Talking about legislation, can you talk a little bit about Bit21 last time, the bill that you're trying to introduce again? What differences are you going to see now that we have the trifecta in Washington?
Well, thanks, Emily. We did do good work, good, strong bipartisan work on Bit21, which was the clarity for a market structure bill. That bill, I think, had the basics for the exact bill that we'll propose to introduce again in the 119th Congress. There may be some modest changes, but it had bipartisan support. We did a lot of work in our markup and in the floor preparation for it in both the Ag Committee under Dusty Johnson leadership and G.T. Thompson's leadership, and in House Financial Services. So on the regulatory framework bill, that'll be the approach that the House takes. On stable coins, I think you'll see us have a bill that's very similar to the approach that's been taken in the Senate. Recently, Senator Hagerty's introduced legislation. That bill was closer to the original proposal that Patrick McHenry put in place early in the 118th Congress, and I think you'll see the House expose a draft for stable coins that would be similar to the approach taken by Senator Hagerty. But let me ask GT or to comment or Tim.
So I established this year a digital asset subcommittee so that we could take a deep dive into market structure as well as stable coins. Good news is stable coins led by Bill Hagerty on the Senate side out already today. We've seen Cynthia Lummis as a co-sponsor. Market structure is a place where you have left and right leaning in. We have members from Gillibrand and Lummis working together in the past, now working together in the future, coming to the table to create the framework for the Senate so that we can harmonize Fit 21, the parts that we see as a path forward to a signature into law. So the good news is, from my perspective, having the Digital Asset Subcommittee really working on the market structure at the same time, simultaneously having Bill Hagerty lead the conversation around stable coins, having that bill out for us to take a look at, and there will be an amendment process, will be a part of that for us. And then hopefully, very quickly, we'll see the House, they're working on it as well. So we'll have a legislation that's able to go to the president's desk.
Let me just say, I'm very proud of the work that we did in 118th with Fit 21. And that was done in, you heard others talk about, we had Republicans and Democrats, certainly in committee and on the House floor, a significant vote that we achieved. But I like to say we achieved that in a tripartisan way. We worked in bringing the industry, bringing key stakeholders to the table. And so I look forward to, quite frankly, on working with my colleagues here and President Trump to continue that process of refining what we do, whether it's market structures and the other aspects of this bill.
Leadership made much more news. I wanted to ask you all are thinking about making changes to anti-money laundering law as part of this push, given the concerns we've heard about banking, the crypto sector, and beyond, and the broader concerns about money transmitter licenses and festivities of AML.
Yeah, we're certainly open for discussion. One of the things that the subcommittee will take a look at is the whole playing field. I mean, at the end of the day, to get all of our members on board, we're going to have to be open to comments and thoughts on the issue. I think we're in a good place. The Bank Secrecy Act is something that we've discussed with the other side. They have a focus on it. I think that the broader conversation should not be about digital assets alone. It's about bad actors doing bad things by any means necessary. And so having that conversation from a panoramic view and not simply from an digital asset perspective is going to be important for us to get to the end of that conversation.
Brendan, I would add, having been the subcommittee chair in the last Congress, and Brian Stiles is going to have that mission this time. He'll do an excellent job, I think, on the market structure bill and the stablecoin bill as it relates to the security aspects of it. We were very sensitive in the 118th Congress about the law enforcement aspects of digital assets, not any different than we are about any other means of transfer of or payment method. whether you're talking about cash or the ACH system or real-time payments. This is an important point. I agree with Senator Scott completely. We'll listen to our members. But in the drafts that we pro-offered last year that, as I say, we had bipartisan support for, they had strict AML standards in them for this digital arrangement for digital assets that are not unlike the requirements out in the analog financial services space. It's why we call the bills fit for purpose, because this is not an intermediated form of finance anymore. And so these laws have to reflect how transactions are conducted. But AML and BSA are important for every member on both sides of the Capitol.
Thank you for doing this. For both of the stablecoin and the FIT bills last year, I'm just curious this year whether you have any idea of the timeline when you expect to get those work through Congress, and then also could this ride along anything like the farm?
Well, we have to work on getting the farm bill. And we're going to do that. Time-wise, I think one of the most important things we're doing now, with every Congress, we have new members that retire or are defeated, and we have new members coming in. So we're starting that now and have started member education. And quite honestly, crypto is not the easiest thing to wrap your mind around. Not everyone comes into Congress with a good, full understanding and a thorough knowledge. And so member education is what our first goal is here. And then how it times up, it is, I think we've shown the ability to be able to move a market structures bill, well, FIT 21 as a whole, out of the House in the past. I think we're probably in a really good position to, when we conclude our work and preparation this time around, to be able to do that. So I don't see this being attached to a farm bill.
Thank you.
Hang on one second.
I would say, I was thinking about this a little bit. I think what we have is an opportunity to get things done. My theory is the first 100 days of a new administration is important. On the Senate side, my goal is to be as aggressive as possible to achieve an objective of having bills through the Senate in 100 days.
Just to go back to Emily's question on this and combine it with timing, Maeve, is here's the way to think about it. We did a lot of work in the 118th Congress in the House. So we're prepared to move forward in the House Financial Services Committee, and I won't speak for Chairman Thompson.
May is going to be an
introducing
insane
legislation,
month.
having discussion drafts.
May is going to be
attaching
nuts.
those to a set of committee hearings. But it's exactly as GT points out. We have new members.
It's interesting that they're plotting to start pushing bills by basically May, which is also the same time that Charles IOHK is looking to launch their version of Bitcoin OS, as well as probably midnight, I'm
to
guessing.
bring members along and do that member education here in the Senate, something that in the House, we had the benefit, obviously of two Congresses working on that. So I think a key element now, though, is the education and technical assistance that can be provided to members both in the House and Senate from the executive branch now, as President Trump's leadership posts are confirmed. And key among them is his AI and crypto advisor, David Sachs. And David, would you want to speak to this issue of helping members come up to speed?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So this is what we're here for. And I actually did a session even before the start of this Congress with Speaker Johnson. We did a great sort of open dialogue with members of the House in that case. And I think, part of what we're here to do is provide resources on education. Some of them can be outside advisors, kind of luminaries in the industry, and we're talking to a lot of those people. And then, I'm also available anytime to talk to members about this. It can, crypto can be a esoteric subject, and it is good to explain it, to kind of demystify it, because I think once you understand that, you've kind of got the cryptocurrency itself like Bitcoin, but then what it really runs on are blockchains, which are just distributed ledgers. It's really a new type of decentralized computing platform, and there's a lot of things that can be built on that computing platform. So in any event, we're happy here to provide those resources to help explain it, both on Capitol Hill and beyond.
Thank you, Jasper Goodman with Politico. Thanks for doing this. Senator Hagerty is out with the stablecoin bill today. Given that that's out there and that there's been more consensus in the past on stablecoins as opposed to market structure, do you plan to move first on stablecoins ahead of market structure? And relatedly, to what extent in both of these processes do you plan to engage Democrats versus going out alone now that you have the trifecta?
Yeah. So the bill's out, as you know. We have been working with Democrats already on the bill. You'll see co-sponsors will line up on both sides. Good news is that the bill is moving quickly. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at a place where you see very little bipartisan coalition building. The members of the committee, as well as folks like Gillibrand off the committee, are very anxious to have a win in this digital space. And so for the first time in a long time, there's a reason to take a deep breath and release it, because the legislation moving forward very quickly is happening. Good news is they have had, as French said, a lot of time working on the legislation as well. Finding the places where there are disagreement will be the key for us getting it to the president's desk. And that's where I think the task happens next, is to take a look at the component parts of Hagerty's stablecoin bill. But that's what we're moving first, is stablecoins.
In the House, and I'll speak for the Financial Services Committee and then yield to my friend GT, we're proposing that we'll essentially move the stable coins and a FIT 21 type structure, as I've now answered that question 2 or 3 times, on a similar track. And we're going to begin that process where we left off in the 118th Congress. And we worked hand in glove diligently with our colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle in the House.
They did give timelines, 90 days,
ideas that are
100 days, first 100 days of the administration, which puts us around May-ish, end of May.
From the minority party in the House. And we'll continue to do that. And you'll see that as we move forward with a set of hearings and the discussion. So I remain committed to trying to make these bills bipartisan success in the House. And certainly we'll cooperate with the senators and try to be a part of any kind of educational effort here on a bipartisan base to support their efforts here in the Senate. GT.
I have the same commitment, so I really don't have anything against it.
Last question, Jagger. So much infrastructure.
Anyone dumping right now is just to fake you people out so that you sell into their hands. People that understand know that this is some big shit that's going on right now. She asked about the sovereign wealth fund.
One of the things that the president instructed us to do was to evaluate the idea for a Bitcoin reserve. And so that is one of the things, that's one of the first things we're going to look at as part of the internal working group in the administration. So as soon as we get all that set up, we're still waiting for some cabinet secretaries who are on the working group to get confirmed. So we're still in the very early stages of this. But that's one of the first things we're gonna look at, is the feasibility of a Bitcoin reserve. I think the concept of the sovereign wealth fund is a little separate, and you'd have to talk to Secretary Lutnick, or soon to be Secretary Lutnick, about that.
Thank you all very much.
All right. Wow, interesting. Kind of a nothing burger, but at the same time, you guys have to understand that this is still extremely unprecedented. I mean, there is a pro crypto team now that is working on bills and new legislature to come within the next 100 days, affecting crypto in a very powerful way. So I don't necessarily think this is the end of the world by any stretch. I just think they're just getting started. They're just here. So I think anybody that's kind of freaking out too much, I think we should probably chill out a little bit. I mean, it is what it is. I was hoping that they would be a little bit more specific on things, and they were, but they're effectively saying, listen, we're going to focus on stable coins first, and then they're going to work their way down. Stable coins, the easiest thing to regulate. I mean, when you're talking about crypto, how many different types of assets are there? How many, what's your smart contract base? There are just so many different variables to blockchain tech right now. And stable tokens are going to be the first. And that makes sense. because stable tokens are more universal in the terms of like what their uses are, what chains can they be used on. We all go in and out of a variety of different stable coins all over the place. My question is how does any sort of my real question is when it comes to stable tokens, how does that play into something like USDT? How does Tether play or fare with a new stablecoin legislature? Like, what does that mean? So, I can see that the reaction in the market is like, okay, we're going to dump. This is just a channel to me, like from what I'm seeing so far. Maybe this becomes the conduit where everybody uses it was a big nothing burger, and then they start using that to send us down to fill that CME gap at 78 grand. I don't know, but I look at it this way. I think that the market makers use what's happening in the world to play on everyone's fears, and they use that to basically send the market wherever they want to and however it's going to benefit them the most in the short term. And then they move it right back the other way. So I'm not overly worried. I think that I'm not really worried at all. It's just the timing, right? We're all looking for that big break. We're all looking for confirmation that we're in a really bull market, that everything's going to start running and everybody's going to get richer than rich and all this other stuff. And listen, there's a time for that, and that's going to come, but the reality is that when it comes, think of how far we've gone with nothing. Think about how far we've gone against the grain of all the Operation Choke Point 2.0, Senator Warren's battle against crypto, using the banking system to basically kick us all in the teeth. And like they were saying earlier, like pro-crypto businesses were being debanked. That's all Operation Choke Point. And when you look at how that is transitioning away from all of that into a pro-crypto narrative with an administration who just launched his own meme coin to signal to everybody, you're okay. Everything's going to be okay, right? I don't know how you get a clearer message than when a president launches a meme token to say, the days of having to run afraid are over. If you're a legitimate, honest operation, you're going to be fine, but it is going to take some time to put this all in writing and have it go through the proper channels for official inclusion. So I'm excited about where we're at. I just think that, everybody's wanting that sweet spot tomorrow. And unfortunately, you got to give it a little foreplay first. And that's where we're at right now. So, listen, folks, calm down. Everything's going to happen as it's supposed to happen. The next 100 days are going to be absolutely insane. And to be quite frank with you, I think the next 100 days are going to become the true catalyst for what everybody here is waiting for. They could say whatever they want right now. Realistically, they could have thrown out all sorts of things to get everybody all excited. But until it's down on paper, it's signed in and approved, through all of the channels that have to basically say this is okay. Yes, let's put this into law, whatever. It doesn't mean anything really. And that's ultimately why I think why they keep saying we're going to look at this, we're going to look at that, because they can't guarantee anything that they look at is going to happen. All they can do is work collectively, and I think that I think it's going to happen though, and I think we're going to end up in the most pro-crypto year we've ever had in the history of humankind, right here in 2025. And I think a lot of people that are holding strong and not letting themselves be shaken out. Granted, if you're holding shit coins and if you're holding assets that are, I don't know how to word this to be politically correct, but if you're holding legitimate assets, you're going to do very well over this year. When does the market peak? Nobody knows. Could be May, could be October, could be later than that. I really don't know yet. It's just too soon to tell, but I think we're going to be in a very good place. So, listen, folks, thanks for joining me today. I'm glad we got through this. Wasn't as exciting as I was hoping, but at least we know who the players are, what they're working on. And hey, the next 100 days is going to be groundbreaking. That much I'm sure. One way or another, I think it's going to be very interesting. And when you mix that in with all the other changes going on, things are about to be shaken up, and I think it's going to be shaken up for the better. And those of us in crypto are probably going to do very, very well this year. Till next time, crow your coins. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you visit my sponsors down below: iTrust Capital, Legacy Network, Merlin Wallet, and check out Vibrantism too if you're bored. So anyway, I will see you again very soon. Crow.